so what I am going to show you today is how easy it is to get started web scraping with Python. And then I am going to explain to you why it's actually more difficult to do this at scale than you think, and why you should actually use a web scraping API like URL to text to do it for you. So this is a very simple Python script for web scraping. Now the first thing we do here is we define a string that is the URL that we want to scrape. Then we use the requests library to get that URL. Then we use the beautiful soup parser to parse that resulting URL and store it into the soup variable. Then we use the get text method of the beautiful soup library to get just the clean text from that resulting HTML. And then of course we just print that text to the console. Okay, let's go ahead and run it. And then there we go. This is the text of that page. But now let's talk about why this can get difficult at scale. So this simple website that we just scraped has no scraping protections on it, but real websites have a ton of scraping protections, and this is exactly why you want to rely on a web scraping API like URL to text. One advantage we have is our extract only main content with AI setting. This uses AI just to get the main content of the page, so you're not getting a ton of extra stuff like headers, footers, irrelevant links. Of course, one problem with the script we just created is that it does not render JavaScript. So there are a ton of sites out there that are generated dynamically with JavaScript. To actually do this yourself, you would have to set up what is called a headless browser. And then you would need to use something like Selenium in order to drive that headless browser. Now, another problem here is that many of these anti-web scraping technologies will block what are called data center IPs. This is exactly why we have the option to select a residential IP and make the request from that. If you are working on a project, it is so much faster and so much more reliable to just use a web scraping API like URL to text, because you do not want to have to build all of this yourself. Let us build it, let us maintain it, so that you can focus on the core functionality of the application and leave the web scraping to us. If you'd like to try it out, you can take a look at it for free at url2text.com.